Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, yeah, you're gonna need some very sweet, petty tea for today. Lately, it's been a lot of dating nightmares combined with politics and sexism, bigotry, and everything like that. Because, well, when you're talking to a black woman with a disability, yeah, my dating life, yeah, I run into bigotry, sexism, and it's just, oh, like a lot of men hate themselves, or a lot of men are still trying to figure out masculinity or how they fit within masculinity, and or are scared of doing anything that might look feminine, including even a hug or a kiss. Like, yeah, there I have met a few men who told me kissing is feminine. That's what women want to do. It's like, what? Hold up. How? Uh, yeah. So, anyways, it's like, and then I've been talking a lot about MAGA, Republican, conservative men getting themselves in a lot of trouble. Yeah, a lot of legal issues and everything. Because now there's another one I haven't mentioned that he was having an affair with a woman, impregnated her, paid her to have abortions and everything. Then we have that guy from Oklahoma or Arkansas. It's like, sorry, it's like that whole, like, the superintendent of that education department who got caught with nude women on his screen, but then he was trying to blame like Democrats somehow. I'm just like, what? And so then we have the whole Epstein list, and then Hulk Hogan and what he did with his ex-wife or to his ex-wife, and then I'm missing a couple, but anyways, it's just one after another, after another, after another. But today it's going to be River of Racism. Yeah, River of Racism. And a lot of these topics, I have over 320, I think around right about 330 episodes now. So you have a lot of catching up to do if you're new. But hi, hello if you are new. But it's just crazy how over the last couple of years since I started, I've been talking about history, African American history, and how if you don't know your history, we're going to repeat it. And now we're literally having the pale Europeans or the pale males and pale, like the pale family or pale Americans. However, basically, yeah, some of the white people, they're trying to start their own towns and everything. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that because I talked about history throughout the episodes, going to bring them back up because you wouldn't believe how many people years ago, especially, speaking of sundown towns. I mean, I don't think it's officially a sundown town, but it feels like a sundown town. Lake City, Michigan. Who the the people that I've met from that city and being in that city, it feels so racist that my white ex-boyfriend's oldest daughter was crying because and getting emotional because of how racist those people were treating me. I repeat that. Hit my ex's white oldest daughter, or they're like he white too, but she got emotional and was crying. I had to calm her down because, yeah, everyone else was just looking at her, staring at her. And she's saying out loud, why are they so racist? What is making them so racist? Why do they keep staring at her? Why do they keep glaring at her? It's like I don't feel safe for her right now. It's like I had to walk with her, calm her down and tell her, "Honey, welcome to racism." And she's like, "What? This isn't your first time?" I'm like, "Honey, I'm black. What do you?" Because I remember when I was like, I had to like hold her head, like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, she just started laughing. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I'm like, "This is what black people have been telling you about all these years," and she's like, this is how. And I was like, okay, maybe not this severe because ooh, these white people, I mean, I was like, to be honest, I kind of feel like some of them probably go to Klan meetings. I have a strong feeling some of them probably go to Klan meetings. And so I was like, so I mean, she was laughing because I was doing it in a tone to calm her down, cheer her up. And I did tell her, I was like, this is why whenever we're out of that house, I cannot be alone. I do not feel comfortable being alone. When we went out to breakfast, we went to a restaurant and our waitress changed. And I heard it was because the waitress refused to serve us because I was at the table. And all of the white people that were in the restaurant were staring at me and glaring at me, made it feel really uncomfortable. And I remember saying an extra prayer for my food, a silent prayer that they didn't notice, because I'm like, God, okay, if they did anything to this food, please just let me survive it. Okay, because I don't feel safe. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, like, well, I know what's going on, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't do anything. The only mistake I made was starting to date, like, starting to date the guy that I was dating who grew up in this neighborhood. And this is like, it's like over the years, part of me wonders, was I a pick me? Because the thing was, I wanted to up with him so many times. But at the beginning, he didn't act the way that he turned out being. And because part of me was like, was I a pick me, or was he wearing a mask, or was it a combination? Because part of me, I was trying to make sure that I I proved my mother wrong, but at the same time, I wanted someone that I felt comfortable with, I loved and everything. But then I now I'm trying to figure out which definition of love was like, because yeah, it's complicated, but I talk about it throughout the over 320 episodes. But when his mother took me to the grocery store, and it was the youngest daughters and I, we all went together. But I remember one of the ladies stopped her and she asked her, "Oh, did you hire some help?" Looking right at me, full chest, everything. And I remember the oldest daughter again. She was just like, "What?" And I had to pull her away. I was like, nope, 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 not today. I was like, okay, welcome to racism. I was like, you had a lesson like earlier, but now this is another lesson. It's like, yeah, you're gonna hear comments like that. They don't. I was like, remember when your grandmother said that the only reason I got into college is because I'm black? Yeah, a lot of these people don't think I'm smart enough just because of the color of my skin. A lot of them think that the only reason I'm capable and able to achieve anything is because of the color of my skin. So I was like, this woman wants me to only be the help. She is determined to only see me as help. So, but I remember going through all of that with her and her getting like, I remember I was just like, okay, just hold my hand. Okay, just because she was angry. She was upset. But I was like, I can't get mad right now because then they're going to go and they're going to complain about me and talk about me. And they're going to say some racist things, or they're going to turn around. Like, I don't know what they're going to do, because I was like, we have to remember. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, you're learning. And I was like, and so I had to tell her, if a black person responds, but in a way that shows too much power to them, they will turn that into a threat. So I was like, honey, we just gotta. So I told her, just hold my hand throughout the anger, squeeze it if you got to, until we leave the store, because I want to be safe and we want to be safe. That girl squeezed my hand so hard. That girl squeezed my hand so hard. I remember when we were putting the bags in the vehicle and my ex's mom was like, why is your hand, or your left hand, so red? And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, she squeezed up and I was like, oh no, I don't know. And I was like, I just kind of played dumb or whatever. And it's like, and I remember the oldest daughter whispered, "I am so sorry, I am so sorry." I was like, no, 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 I'm just glad we're safe. I'm just glad. It's like, we'll talk about it at the house, don't worry, we're safe, we're safe. They're like, just take deep breaths, let's put all of the groceries in the car, whatever. But I remember how my ex would brag that they never had to study African American history and how they never celebrated African American month. And just, there were so many, like, At the beginning of the relationship, he was nothing like this. And he lives in a city that is predominantly black. And so sometimes I would cringe because he would be talking to his black neighbors. Then he would come into the house and say some kind of racist joke. And I'm just like, that's racist. And he was like, but I'm dating you, so it's okay. No, it's not. And I was like, no, it's not. Don't you ever, ever. And then he'd get mad at me and he would ignore me for a few hours, or he would go outside and start talking to his black neighbors and then come back and brag to me. See, I can say that and they don't even know it. And I mean, I'm not going to say it was just the most racist jokes, but like with the whole grape drink, grape soda kind of comments, and sometimes watermelon or whatever. And there was a couple other ones, but sometimes it's just like, okay, since you don't want to know about black culture, you don't want to know about black history, it's like you don't have a right. Like, no, it's like you sound even more racist because you don't know about us, but you can't wait to do that. And so even with my natural hair, he wanted to, like, I showed him my natural hair. uh I forgot what year it was. I think year 2. But it's like, and this made me feel so much more ugly. Like, I've already felt ugly and I still felt ugly, but I he used to, like I've said in other episodes, if we are running errands and stuff and a man, black, white, or whatever, what, like one time it was an Indian guy too, and he looked at me like, how'd you get an Indian guy? And so I just remember like kind of like laughing inside. But if they ever complimented me or say I was beautiful or offer to help me or whatever, he would ignore me. And so I would try to be as unattractive. I ended up, like, it wasn't on purpose at first, but then later on I realized that's what I was doing. But it was crazy because when I showed him my natural hair, he kept saying that he wanted me to just have my natural hair out. And I wasn't ready for that yet because I was still growing it out and stuff. But because, like, I have, well, the afro and everything. But then I realized to him, my afro was ugly. He wanted me to only have my afro out, especially in his town, because he thought it was ugly. He wanted me to only look like, and some people are like, no, that might not be true. No, trust me. It's like, because even when his roommate came in to see and he saw my afro, oh, it's not combed, it's not tamed, it's not this, it's not that. And it's like like, I don't know, it's just the way my ex reacted to it. It was kind of suspicious. But whenever I was up north, he would beg me, oh, have your hair out, have your hair out. And I wouldn't feel comfortable because even with his mom, some of the comments she said about my hair and how all of a sudden all of them wanted their hands in my hair, and oh, I've never felt this before. Oh, it feels like cotton. Oh, well, and one of them's like, oh, that's kind of funny because you're fat, your ancestors, and then they like, someone told them to shut up or whatever. But yeah, they thought they were being funny. But I don't know, it's just with my ex and his family, like when they would talk about people of color, black people, and things like that, they would say black people are the reason why our country is going down, and they are the main issue in our country. And they said so many racist things. But then when I would set them straight, and my his mother would be like, "Oh well, you're not one of them." And the time when she bragged about how all of her kids were arrested and how she had to pick them up from the police station or whatever, then she told me it was my turn. And I was like, my turn for what? And she was like, it's your turn to tell us about the times you were arrested and your siblings. And so then I had to tell her Um, okay, the end. End of story. We've never been arrested. And she was trying to get my ex to prove that I was lying. Like, he tried to start a conversation. I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, well, because he was down in the basement playing pool or whatever during it. And he was like, well, my mom, she said she told you some stories about us and my siblings and stuff, but she said you want share. So I'm curious. I want you to share with me. And I'm like, you mean when she told me about how all of you guys were arrested? And then, like, the next night, she brought it up again. So then the youngest daughter was then going over the full story of how she got arrested or whatever. And it's like, she was like, see, it's like, even she was arrested, so you can tell us. And I'm just like, and I remember asking, like, why do you think I was arrested? And she just kind of looked at me. And then she looked at me even harder. And I'm just like, uh, okay. Think I got the hint, but wow. But wow. And my ex wouldn't even want to come over to my house. I invited him so many times to either meet my family or just to visit or see or spend time or whatever. And he was jealous because to him, pale males or white people are supposed to do better than people of color, black people. And I think he was upset because it was the other way around in this situation. And he hated that. And that's one reason why when I was trying to start my business, he begged me to start a business. He closed it down because he realized, oh, this is going to help her out. This is going to make her better too. He didn't want that. So even like, he has not paid me back a dime, a penny, nothing. And I want to take him to court, but I have to look up how much time, because part of me was like, one reason why I didn't sue him was because I didn't have the money. And then COVID and my surgery and getting diagnosed, and then disability, like trying to figure out disability life. So I literally did, that wasn't at the top of my list because I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to make sure I'm at the best health I can be to survive, and whatever. Yeah. But when I tried to start my own business, and he kept putting me down, saying it was dumb or stupid, or like I could do something better, I would do better, I would do better. It's like, oh, you had your chance to do better, but then you changed your mind, and then you put it back on me, or try to make me feel like I wasn't, like, yeah. I mean, I talked about this in other stories, but it's just like, I don't know, with all of the racism that I went through with his family alone, and how, like, even with the whole Candace Owens thing, go back to the episodes, because she, like, the only black person they believed was Candace Owens. The only black music, like, was black country artists, and then they were trying to get me to listen to Candace Owens and black country, and they were trying to tell me that, oh, you're so silly, you're a Democrat, no, we're gonna fix that. And so then they would take turns and debate me, but then I would win so much that my ex told me that I was not allowed to talk politics with them. So then they would literally wait for my ex to leave the room, or say that he was going to go outside and hang out with either his brother or whatever. And like, sometimes it was the older brother. It just depended. But then they would come up to me and try to start talking politics and debating me. And it was to the point where I'm like, get away from me. You guys, like, you're just proving how bigoted and how racist and awful and terrible and poorly educated you are. But it was so funny. I beat them every single time, to the point where my ex told me that I was no longer allowed to talk politics with them. And I know I'm dragging this, or it sounds like I'm dragging it out, but I'm giving examples. And I might do another episode on this, because I've talked about the, like, the cancer belt, and how a lot of African Americans are stuck into their house because a lot of rich especially rich white people and people out of the country, have built factories in predominantly black towns. But these towns, like, the fumes are so toxic that the people in these cities have 25 to 50% higher chance of getting cancer. But then they try to sue because they were like, no, it's like, I have to pay all of these bills and stuff for either cancer treatments or health treatments and things like that. And no one wants to buy my house, so I'm stuck and I can't leave my house. But it's, and they can't afford a second house, and because no one wants to buy the first house. But the judge and the, yeah, Republican, I think he is an orange guy, judge, appointed judge and stuff. He denied them and he won't give them any money. And then I've told you guys so many times about the drowned cities, and I provided links and resources so you guys can look more into that. And the massacres, I've mentioned this, and the sundown towns. And also, I've done like research and studies and talks about why African Americans have special events to ourselves because of safety. Sometimes it's not about race, it's because of safety. Because, so like, when we are around pale males, they don't make us feel safe. I mean, my ex, like, I you would think he would try to make me feel safe, but no, 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 not really. But I didn't know this until later. But then my disability, my undiagnosed disability, got worse, and so then I was scared to break up with him because I'm like, okay, am I gonna risk being alone because my walking's getting worse and blah blah blah. But I didn't feel safe with him. I mean, some of the awful, terrible, like, he would encourage his mother to, especially since he dropped out of college and stuff like that, and he didn't finish. And especially since I would want to start my own business, and yeah, he didn't want to help me with that or up, like, because he begged me to start it, remember. Then he had terrible credit, and he didn't have a bank account or a credit union, whatever. And so I had to, like, I spent $2,500 to $3,000 to get it started because he begged me. For months, he begged me. So I made sure everything was legal. I had the paperwork ready. I had the marketing ready. I had everything. I was doing everything. And then, like, 6 months later, turned back. Oh, yeah, never mind. Didn't pay me back a penny. But then when I started, uh, like, oh, I had to pay it off on my own because of that no good shirt. And I will never forget either. But then when I started investing my money, he would laugh at me and just say, you're not gonna make anything off of that. That's not gonna be anything." But then a few months later, he would tell me, like, because he is into computers, he was try to start telling me what to invest in, where to put my money in. And I thought it was kind of odd because I'm like, I thought you said I wasn't going to do anything, or it wasn't going to be capable of anything or whatever. And it's like, so all of my credit card debt was paid off, and I was paying off or trying to start paying off my student loans, or I've been paying off for years, but oh my gosh. Yeah, trying to get 2 masters. Oh, yeah, pretty penny. But anyway, it's, and now it's like, it's crazy because now I am starting my businesses and writing my books, my novels, children's books, and everything. And then, well, I'm still working on, like, I'm doing no marketing on YouTube until, like, the novel is published. I got, well, I had some really awful, terrible people from Fiverr scam me. Because they're like, look, see, you have all these subscribers. They were bots. They tricked me. So, like, yeah, I cooled down, but part of me is just kind of like, I'm saying all of this because, like, we have all of these people trying to now start their own towns, and I'm going to do a whole episode on more thoughts on that. But I just think it's crazy. Over the last couple of years since I started this channel, I've been talking about it. I've been reminding people of the history, and I've been talking about the segregation and how some people are trying to bring it back. I've been talking about, even with colleges, they're trying, like, they had the whole lawsuit, and, like, a lot of Asian Americans are teaming up with the white Americans. Like, oh yeah, black people aren't smart enough. But then next thing you know, once Supreme Court takes it away, now fewer Asian Americans are getting into those very Ivy League schools and everything like that. But now they're turning back, blaming black people again. But then some of them are pleading and begging for black people to help them for the situation they put themselves in. Don't you see a pattern? Because yeah, the Hispanic community, yeah, yeah, I see, yeah, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. Even though black people, but especially black women, we've been telling them this all this time, but they don't want to listen to us. They don't want to pay attention to us. They don't care about what we have to say because they don't think we're smart enough. They don't think we're capable. They think we're lazy because that's what the white man said. The white man labeled us and stereotyped us. But now they want to start their own towns, even though for years and decades, they drowned out our towns. They told us we weren't good enough. Okay? It's like every time, like our ancestors were striving and doing great and amazing, they're like, nope, burn it down, tear it down, hurt them, like eliminate them. But then it's like we still have these, like a lot of the pale conservative Americans who blame us, talk about us, say that we're not capable and able when it's like, don't you think we're exhausted. It's exhausting, but we're still trying. We're not giving up. But it's like when after slavery, when we had to have our own towns because you won't let us into yours, when we had to start our own businesses and things like that, and the crops and everything like that, and we were doing well and like just prospering, they didn't want that. They don't want good for us. They want us to fail. Okay? Because like they don't understand like the safe places. It's like because with some organizations, yeah, sometimes within the unit you see the black people or people of color coming together because a lot of times pale males don't make us feel safe. It's like the racism, like and sometimes when we tell them that's racist, oh, whatever, it's just funny. Oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, it's like I'm just telling the truth. Oh, you guys, oh, you're talking white, you're doing this. Oh, look at this, and it's like, oh, can we just be ourselves? Okay, it's like they want part of our culture. They want the music and the seasoned food and like some of the like either inventions or creativity from our culture, but they don't want us. But then they don't want us to profit from it. They'll take our idea and try to capture it because yeah, I need to do an episode all about that one, but it's just crazy now because now they're trying to make it fully legal so they can spread it all around America. And then they got the idea from the apartheid, from Africa. And they praise a certain guy that starts with the letter H from history. It's like, but see, do you see a pattern with how a lot of conservatives, they love that part of history. They see that person as a role model. Do you see the pattern yet? Remember what Elon Musk did. Do you see the pattern yet? Because some of MAGA's like, we're not racist, we're not this, we're not. Look at what. Okay, if it was only one out of the 100 examples, because yeah, I'm going to do another episode on this, then okay, maybe. But it's like example after example after example. But then they still kind of say, you can't call us racist. Yes, I can. A racist is a racist is a racist. A bigot is a bigot. Let's look at the. Come on now. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.